10 of my favorite toddler mum hacks, some of my favorite games that we play at the moment with Charlie. Mess-free play is gonna save your life. Boy oh boy, is toddlerhood hard. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video, which is going to be another mum hacks video. These are the type of videos that I need in my life right now, especially having a toddler. So I am dedicating this video to toddler mum hacks. 10 of my favorite toddler mum hacks to survive toddlerhood. Look, as mums, we're all going to go through the same stage of newborn, toddlerhood, and so on. So why not share those tips and tricks that work for us? You could share your tips with your friends, your neighbors. You can comment them down below because I also really need them. And I'm going to be sharing my tips with you guys in the hope that it does help someone out there. Like I mentioned, these tips are really going to be about toddlers. Boy oh boy, is toddlerhood hard. They have such big emotions and they're growing into their own personality and they're discovering the world in a different perspective than when they were an infant. And there's a lot of things that come with toddlers. Let's just get straight into it. Alright, my first tip is to encourage individual playtime. This is something that you can be starting at a very young age, but find that moment where your child is playing and they're involved in what they're doing and they don't need you, and walk away from the situation. You will find that the first time it's going to last about a minute before they call your name, and then it will last 5 minutes and maybe 10 minutes and so on. But if you encourage that playtime, they're going to learn to play by themselves, and individual playtime can be so important for them. The thing about toddlers is they don't have fear and they're going to do things that are dangerous, but they're going to do it safely. I heard this in a podcast once and I was like, yes, let your child do dangerous things safely. If they're climbing on something and you're probably thinking you shouldn't climb on that, but it's safe. For example, they're climbing on your couch. Let them experience that. They need to learn those dangerous things themselves. If you're constantly telling them not to do it, the likelihood is they're gonna do it. So make sure it's safe, but let them do those dangerous things safely. I guess this kind of segues into my next tip is, instead of telling them what you want them to do, action what you want them to do. Honestly, toddlers are like sponges. They will soak up everything that they see, everything that they hear. Instead of telling them you want to brush their teeth, grab your toothbrush and start brushing your teeth. There's like a 90% chance, I'm gonna bring that up, there's like a 99% chance that your toddler's gonna want to brush their teeth when you're brushing yours. So if you brush your hair, they're gonna want to brush their hair. If you put on your clothes, they're gonna want to get dressed. If you put your shoes, they want to put on their shoes. You get what I'm trying to mean. Action what you want them to do instead of telling them. Try that out, see if it works with your toddler. One of the reasons why I tell you to action instead of telling them is to prevent tantrums. Tantrums is like a whole thing. It needs like 75 videos on itself. Tantrums are hectic, and look, if you're going through tantrums, I am here with you. We're all going through tantrums and it's a really hard thing. You're not alone. One of my biggest things about tantrums, and something that is working wonders for me, is choose your battles. When I say choose your battles, think about what is going to create a tantrum. Let's say you have picked your toddler's outfit and you want them to wear their white pair of shoes with that outfit, and they've picked out their green pair of shoes and they want to wear their green pair of shoes. Before you tell them, no, you have to put on your white shoes, just stop and think. Choose your battle. Is this a battle that you want to fight? There's a 50% chance that if you tell them no, you have to wear your white shoes, they're gonna have a tantrum because they want to wear their green shoes. So who cares if the shoes don't match their outfit? That is just one example, but I hope you can kind of understand where I'm going. To be fair, I find that every time I stop and think about this type of situation, it really does help me to prevent tantrums. And Charlie has really, really big tantrums. He's honestly one of the kings of tantrums. We'll continue with these tantrums. Because like I mentioned, they need about 75 videos of themselves, and if I have tips that I can help you guys, I'm going to share them with you guys. Another thing that I have found have really helped me to prevent tantrums is give your toddler choices. Give them notice. If you're at the park and you need to leave in 5 minutes, Charlie, we are leaving the park in 5 minutes. Charlie, 2 more times on the slide and then we have to leave the park. Imagine if you're doing something and you quickly just get ripped away from that thing that you're playing with or the activity that you're doing. You just get taken away without notice. How is that going to make you feel? To be honest, that would make me feel pretty upset, and that's exactly how your toddler would feel if you're just all of a sudden removing them from that item. So if you give them the notice, that is going to prevent that tantrum from being upset because they have to leave whatever they're doing. And when I say give them choices, if they're like a semi-tantrum, you know, pre-tantrum stage where you're like, ooh, if I say one more word, my toddler's gonna have a tantrum. That stage, you know, the base of the cake, if you're there, give them choices. They don't want to get to the car. You say, would you like to hop to the car or would you like to run to the car? Having those choices is gonna make that thing that was gonna be a tantrum more exciting for your toddler. It's changing their mindset towards that thing. I think this is one of those tips that it will get easier the more they're understanding, but even if you start doing this at a young age and you start getting yourself in the habit of doing that and giving them choices, I really do think it can prevent a lot of tantrums. Alright, continuing with communication, because personally I think communication is key with raising toddlers, with raising humans, just with everything. Communication has been one of the main things that I have learned becoming a mum, being in a relationship, and it is something that I'm constantly working on. And saying that, use the words you want your toddler to use. The thing with communication is I find I'm always learning from it, and I've never been good at communicating myself. But with raising Charlie and trying to teach him the words that I use, I have to learn to be a good communicator. So for example, I'm doing something, it's getting frustrated. Instead of going, ugh, and getting angry about it, I use my words and I say, this is frustrating and this is getting hard. Charlie can see that I'm struggling. He can see I'm possibly getting annoyed, frustrated, but instead of watching me yell and he's listening to me say, this is getting frustrating, this is difficult. I think it's so important that your child has good words and uses the words correctly. I don't only use this type of quote in my life when I'm angry or something like that. I just use it in general day. So when I'm explaining something to Charlie, the capsicum is red. I'm using words I want him to use. I'm not saying this thing is red. The capsicum is red. Alright, let's segue a little bit and talk about my hacks when it comes to just trying to do things outside in the world, trying to do things with your toddler. So my tip with that is mess-free play. If you're going to a restaurant, if you're going to a friend's house, mess-free play is going to save your life. Some of my favorite mess-free play are these watercolored markers. The fun thing about these is that the markers will only work on the specific paper that it comes with. So your toddler can then grab the marker and put it all over the table or put it over the walls of your friend's house or wherever, and it's not going to work. They can have endless minutes of fun playing this and it can just distract them instead of them running around and doing something crazy. Some of my other mess-free plays are these tiny little blocks. You probably have seen the mega blocks of these versions, but the little ones is nice and compact and can put it in your diaper bag, and this can have them creating a tower or just having fun while you are eating your breakfast out and about, and it just prevents them from creating a mess when you are out in public. To follow on with playing and out in public and even inside the house, encourage your child to clean up after themselves. I've shared this little tip before and we have a clean up song. Clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. So this is something that we use. Honestly, we've encouraged it more by cleaning up with Charlie. Charlie watches us clean up. We always clean the house together. We do chores together, and he is so good at cleaning up after himself. I truly believe that is because we've encouraged it and because he's watched us do it for his whole lifetime. Alright, I have 2 more hacks before I end this video. My second to last one is learning through play. This is probably quite common sense and I'm sure you're already doing this without even thinking about it, but learning through play is one of the best ways to help and teach and develop your child's brain. Some of my favorite games that we play at the moment with Charlie is puzzles. We have the alphabet puzzles. We do the alphabet together. I am so amazed at how much he knows just being 2 years old. My last tip, which personally I think is a very important tip, and that is give yourself 5 minutes. Look, parenthood is hard, and like I mentioned, you're not doing this alone. There's a lot of other parents out there struggling. We're all struggling. We're all in the same boat. Give yourself 5 minutes to breathe. I understand that some parents are going to be single parents. They don't get a break during the day, but once your child is sleeping, give yourself 5 minutes, or wake up 5 minutes before them and just give yourself 5 minutes to breathe. I have found this working wonders for me when I wake wake up before Charlie. Giving myself like 20 to 30 minutes before Charlie wakes up starts my day off on such a good note. And look, I truly believe that you're going to be the best mum if you are the best version of yourself. And to be the best version of yourself, you need to be able to breathe, you need to be able to reflect, and you need to be able to spend time on yourself. So try and make that a priority and work on yourself just as much as you're trying to work on your child. Alrighty guys, that is 10 of my toddler mum hacks. Hopefully that is going to help someone out there. Like I mentioned, please comment any tips that you guys have down below as well. I'm always looking for more tips. I'm always trying to make things a little bit easier for myself and my child. If you guys did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys!